Welcome to Detroit's Darkest Times. First thing we want y'all to do is subscribe to the channel if you're not already done so. Hit the like and the notification bell. Today's segment is on the fight of AJ and Jake Paul and my thoughts on the fight. With that being said, let's get started. When I first heard of Jake Paul entering the boxing world, my first thought was it's a bad idea. This cat is not a boxer. He's a YouTuber, I'll give him that. But he's not a boxer. I would get in the ring with Jake Paul any day of the week. So that being said, this is just my thoughts on the fight. And I feel like he finally went against somebody that he didn't have a chance with in the first place. And just watching this fight, just watching AJ beat Jake Paul like a raggdoll in the ring, I couldn't help from laughing, and it was just a funny experience for me, because I said a long time ago that I don't feel like he needs to be in the boxing world or be in the boxing ring for that matter. Because he has no professional experience in boxing. And he don't take boxing seriously by the way he acts in the ring. And I knew when he was going against AJ, I knew from the beginning he was going to get the brakes beat off of him. And I told a lot of people about it. And a lot of people agreed with me on it. But I just wanted to touch on this match because he's just not a boxer in my eyes. Other people might have different opinions. If you got a different opinion, put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. But his matches in the past, I wasn't interested in none of them except for the one with Mike Tyson. And I really feel like Mike Tyson was just trying to take it easy on him, to be honest with you. That's just my thought. I'd really like to see Mike Tyson do a couple more fights myself. But anyways, just watching him get beat down like a rag doll, and you could see that he was scared, something fierce, and just by him grabbing AJ's leg and kept grabbing a hold of his leg. I don't know if he was trying to injure him or what he was trying to do, but it just wasn't professional, and I just thought he just made boxing look bad just by doing that. And you could tell in his face that he was real scared. And I really feel like he got lucky that the outcome came about like it did. Because it could have been a worse outcome. and it was just a matter of time. I did say the sixth or seventh round he would be knocked out. So I got that on the sixth round. So that worked out in my favor. But you could just see the fear in Jake Paul's face when he was up against AJ. And you could tell he was worried. And, you know, basically he was just scared, because he kept grabbing his leg and, you know, hanging on to him and stuff like that. It was just unprofessional. And I think he's doing it to to not only be a boxer, but I really think he's just trying to get in the boxing league to promote his YouTube channel, basically. Because the silly stuff that he does in the ring, it's just not professional. And he just makes boxing look bad as a whole. So they really need to get him away from the ring, because he's not a boxer. But he's made a lot of money messing around as a boxer. But he's just, anybody can see that he's just not a boxer. And he finally went up against somebody that whooped the brakes off of him and that, beat him around like a rag doll in the ring. And then he was also, you could see the fear in his face that, he was just scared of AJ. Because he knew that guy wasn't gonna pull no punches. He was there to win, you know. And I mean, it was a good fight on AJ's part, but on Jake Paul's side, he was just making boxing look bad, just the things he was doing in the ring, and I really didn't approve of it. But I just wanted to put that out there, and feel free to put your thoughts in the comments and stuff like that. But anybody that's got respect for boxing and things of that nature knows that Jake Paul is not a boxer, and he don't need to be nowhere near the ring. He could be the cleanup guy, maybe. You know what I mean? Something like that. But like I said, I'd get in the ring with him any day of the week, twice on Sunday. That's how for sure I am that he's not a boxer. And some folks might have different opinions, but I'd say the majority of people's going to be with me on that. And it's just, he just makes boxing look bad, period. And he just got a hold of a serious boxer this time that wasn't going to go out as a loser. He was going to go out as a winner. And that's exactly what AJ did. So that being said, Jake Paul needs to, go back to being a YouTuber and stay away from the ring. Because just the fear that he was showing in the ring told you right off top that he was going to lose. And I'm sure a lot of people was rooting for AJ anyways. And just in my eyes, he's a good YouTuber, but he's no boxer by no means. You know, and I just couldn't believe the things that he was doing in the ring. To be honest with you, I was like, "What is this guy doing?" Grabbing a hold of his leg. I didn't know if he's trying to break his leg or if he's trying to injure him or what his intention was, but he just kept going for the leg. And then all the hugs that he's putting out too, that was weak. People want to see a good match. They don't want to see you in there, getting beat around like a rag doll and grabbing a hold of the guy's leg and hugging him and things like that. You got to be in there and be a fighter. And but I said it from the get go when Jake Paul was trying to enter the boxing world. I was like, this cat is not a boxer. And he makes things look good as far as like training and stuff like that, but that's because he's experienced in that. He's a YouTuber, you know. But as far as like really get going at it in the ring, uh, he's unexperienced. Because, like I said, I'd go up against him any day of the week, twice on Sunday. That's how for sure I am that he is not a boxer. But I'm sure it was a disappointment to a lot of people because I'm sure there was a lot of people that was rooting for Jake Paul. And that's just basically his fans and stuff like that. But real fans of boxing was going with AJ. And I'm just really proud that AJ put on a good fight, a good show, and knocked his ass clean the fuck out. Excuse my language, but so I was wanting somebody to, knock him out a long time ago. He just needed to be put in his place, and because he just makes the world of boxing look bad when he gets in the ring and does the things that he does and not taking it serious, you know. Now, hopefully, he might sit down somewhere and just be a YouTuber and stay out of the ring. But who knows, We'll just, time will tell. But this cat is just a disappointment to boxing. So hopefully they'll get him out of there and don't give him a chance to box again because he's no boxer. Now maybe he can open a gym up or something like that and let people come to train and stuff like that. That'd be something he could probably do because he does have a lot of followers and stuff like that. But here at Detroit's Darkest Times, we just wanted to put it out there that Jake Paul is not no boxer. He's just a YouTuber and he's making boxing look bad. Those of you who agree with me, let me know in the comments. Hit the like. And if you ain't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We just wanted to voice our opinion on the fight. And, me, myself, I was really disappointed just to see how Jake Paul was conducting himself. against a real boxer. But I seen the fear in his eyes right at the beginning, and he showed it more as the match went on. But you know, hopefully this will be an eye opener for him, and he'll stay out the ring, you know, and do what's best, you know, because he don't need to be around boxing because he don't take it serious. He acts like a fool in the ring, and it's just disrespectful for the real boxing league and the real fans of boxing, and it's just a disrespect. So hopefully he'll grab a seat and do something different. And the boxing uh, league is no place for Jake Paul. And that's just my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of people feels the same way. And but I was laughing a lot because I was just so. I just thought it was kind of, it had a lot of comedy in it, really, because of the way Jake Paul was conducting himself. You know what I mean? So I was laughing, and but just to watch him get beat like a rag doll all over the ring, and and seeing him just he kept getting on his knees and grabbing the guy's leg. I didn't know if he was wanting to pray or what he was trying to do, or if he's trying to injure the guy's leg, or you know, I don't know what his intention was. Maybe he was just buying time, you know. But whatever he was doing, it just didn't make no sense because the thing is, people pay to see a good fight, and that's what people should get, you know. And AJ did his job and knocked him clean out. And that's what a lot of people were waiting on, you know. And I said he would get knocked out in the sixth or seventh uh, round. So I called that pretty good. But it was a good match, but then it was a bad match at the same time. You know what I'm saying? The good part goes to AJ, the bad part goes to Jake Paul. And then that's me just analyzing the match and knowing for sure he shouldn't even have been in the ring in the first place. But, you know, excuse me. But things happen, you know. And he makes a good bag off the fights, stuff like that. I'll have to give him that. But, like I said, he's no boxer, you know. And just just seeing the fear in his face and eyes told me that he was going to lose anyways, you know. But he was just up against a real serious boxer, and AJ was not determined to lose the match, and he carried it out, you know. He knocked him on his ass, knocked him out, and, put him in his place. And that's what, needed to be done anyways, because he's just not serious enough to be in the boxing league in my eyes, you know. So I definitely had to touch on this to let people know at Detroit's darkest times, we back AJ, and we say 100% Jake Paul ain't got no business around a boxing ring, and so he just needs to find another avenue, and or he can set up a match with me anytime he wants to. And other than that, take a seat. That being said, I'm glad y'all are staying with Detroit's Darkest Times. Like I said, make sure you subscribe if you ain't already done so. Hit the like and the notification bell, and put your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate everybody, and have a Merry Christmas. We out.